Every now and again, a fighter comes along that is very, very special.
I know, y'all been waiting for this. It's been a minute.
He has all the potential to be a superstar of American sport.
I had to make sure my next move was the move.
And it's time to show the world just how great he is.
Boots times Matchroom, baby. Let's get it.
Welcome to the best team in boxing, to the world welterweight champion, Jaron Boots Ennis.
All right, Jaron Boots Ennis goes over to Matchroom. A lot of people have an opinion about it, about what they think. Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad, some people say it's a good move, some people say it's a wrong move, you know? In my opinion on it, as far as what they're trying to perpetuate Jaron Boots Ennis as and what they want him to do, to me, it's a wrong move. That's if you guys want to do with Jaron Boots Ennis what you say you want to see done with him. As far as him getting opportunities to get in fights, just basically growing stale on PBC, yes, it's an excellent move for him. And he should sign with somebody that can give him some type of action, you know, that can give him some type of fights at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean a bad move as in, you know, it's just all out horrible for his career. But for what y'all want to project him as and the route y'all want him to go, this is why I say it's a bad move, and it's not hard to understand. I know we hear talks about Eddie Hearn believing he can make that fight with Terrence, Crawford, and stuff like that. You got to understand, Eddie Hearn just signed this guy. I like Eddie, but Eddie will say anything, you know? You remember how honest Eddie was about Canelo Alvarez and then turn around and preach the opposite? The same thing that he was promising to do with Demetrius Andrade is the same thing he's promising to do with Jaron Boots Ennis. And how did that fare out? I'm just saying, how did that fare out? See, I understand the game and I understand the ploy, okay? And my only knock against it is this. If you can't see that they're using Terrence Crawford's name to build Jaron Boots Ennis up to a fight that most likely will never happen, then I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't figured out how they've been using Terrence Crawford's name to try to boost the popularity of Boots, I don't know what to tell you. You should be able to see this. It's clear as day. See, they're going to promote Boots as the person that can rival Terrence Bud Crawford. But how close are they going to get to fighting Terrence Bud Crawford? See, Terrence Bud Crawford name is the hook that's going to give them the attention that Boots needs that otherwise hasn't been built up through his resume or what he's done inside the ring. As of right now, we're praising him for showing out on guys that he's supposed to show out on. I hope people know that at the end of the day. The only reason why I say it's no good because they're going to keep matching him like that while still not going to Crawford, but pretending like somehow Crawford's not giving him the opportunity and somehow Crawford is ducking him, while they know damn well they want to keep Jaron Boots Ennis away from a Terrence Crawford. How do I know that? Eddie Hearn says that he's going to put up the fight and he's going to put up the money for that fight and whatever and whatnot. Why would you do that? Now, don't get me wrong. From a boxing standpoint, yeah, that sounds good. But if you think about it from a business standpoint, does that really make sense? Okay? Because if anything, before you do that, you got to do what with Jaron? You got to build him up. Now, how are you going to build him up? You're going to have to give him some significant fights. He only needs really 2. And we can take Jaron to the races. He only really needs 2 significant fights. And we can take him straight to the races with that. But why would you invest in a young fighter like Jaron Boots Ennis just to have his lights stomped out by Terrence Crawford, what, a year, 2 years from now? Like, does that make sense? Why would I sign you to put money behind you that we haven't made up off you yet to go hand you over to Terrence Bud Crawford, who's the most deadliest man in boxing right now? Does it sound like that's something that you would do if you just signed somebody that you're trying to promote as the next superstar in boxing? Does it sound like you'll do that? I'm just asking you to use your brain for a minute. Does it sound like you would do that? No, but what you will say is, yes, he's a big star, and yes, we are going to go for that Crawford fight. Because what would it look like if I said, well, you know, they tried the Crawford fight, we're just going to worry about building up Jaron over here where he's at, and this is no. You need to have that Crawford fight in the background so he can keep the attention, so he can keep the eyes all on him, because you got to keep in mind, it hasn't been gathered up any other way. There's no significant win. There's no significant fight that you correlate with Jaron Boots Ennis when you talk about his greatness. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing. Still, technically, he hasn't even proved it to you yet. Okay? And people are already, people trying to sweep that Karen fight up under the rug, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? So maybe things are not what it seems. And maybe this is something that his team seen a long time ago, which is why he's 30-something fights in with nothing significant or nothing that pops out or stands out, whether it's in memory of a fight or whether on his resume. He has nothing. Okay? You could tell what they willing to accept by the way that they accepted that email champ situation. You know what I'm saying? He knew what that was going to come with. He didn't care. You know? And yet at the end of the day, all I'm going to hear is somebody hating, somebody this. Let's face it, Jaron Boots Ennis is a tool that y'all use because you want to see somebody beat Terrence Crawford. You really don't care about Jaron Boots Ennis, most of you anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's all he's basically used as. So they want to pimp that for their situation in signing him. So yeah, we're going to keep the Terrence Crawford thing in mind, and you know what I'm saying? I'm going to build up to that fat. I'm going to throw down the money for this fight. You know how much you got to pay Bud for that now? Because his tax bracket is way high. Okay? It's way high now. You willing to throw that down? You believe in Jaron Boots Ennis that much? Let's see. But when it don't happen and we keep rolling out with the same thing, understood what I just said at the beginning of this video. Terrence Crawford's name is used as a vehicle to promote Jaron Boots Ennis while they have no interest in truly fighting Terrence Bud Crawford. But they'll use his name because they'll know the dumb fans who want to hate on him, who want to detract him, who wants to try to take away with what he's done. They're dog whistling to you guys, and you guys will help promote this facade that they trying to put on. Now, as of now, you guys can say I'm just speculating, but what happens down the pipeline when time goes on and then you start to see exactly what I'm talking about? Because I don't know if you know yet, but as far as my record and predicting certain things in boxing, I got about a 98 percentile rate in this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you can see it as clear as day. So my only thing is this: if you're really going to fight Crawford or pursue Crawford, really fight and pursue Crawford. Don't just use his name to catapult Jaron Boots Ennis for something that he should have earned and have done off his 30-something fights alone. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see the fight just like you guys want to see the fight. The difference is, I'm not going to send Terrence Crawford and ask him to go fight somebody that has no return on the end. Meaning, and I don't know how many times people got to say this, if Terrence Bud Crawford beats and fights Jaron Boots Ennis, what are you guys going to say? Well, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't beat anybody. Well, who has he beat that said that he was so great in the first place? You really ain't did nothing. You beat a young guy that was unproven. Y'all know that's waiting down the pipeline for Terrence Crawford. You know that. So at least build it up into a position where y'all can't come and say that. That's where Eddie Hearn building him up comes into play. Now, if they're going to do that, then yes, all for it. Let's see it happen. But he needs something behind him. And I doubt they're just going to throw money without getting some money out of him. Because other than that, you just signed him for Terrence Crawford just to beat up on him. And then with the way fans are, you know, one fight and then you're done, you're basically just throwing him away after that. So you as a businessman, let me ask you a question. Would you do that? Exactly, man. Y'all got to use your brain at the end of the day, man. That's all it is. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.